Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Two Generations, One Mic podcast. This week, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I've made a little bit of a compilation of the best moments from the past 10 episodes. We've been taking a little break for personal reasons, but we should be back up and going next week with episode 10. Like I said, this is just going to be kind of a best of moments from the past 9 episodes, so I hope you guys enjoy. And, I left what episode each of the clips are from, so if you guys enjoy some of the clips, make sure to go back and watch the episodes if you've missed any. Make sure to check out the description before you leave, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe. We appreciate you guys all so much for staying tuned with us and sticking with us through this little break we've been on, but I hope you guys enjoy today's episode. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Two Generations, One Mic podcast, where we like to share stories, lessons, laughs, and life. My name is Ethan.
And I am his dad, Dwayne, and we are super excited about this episode 1.
Thank you all so much for being here with us today. Make sure you check us out on all of our social medias, on YouTube, TikTok, and check us out anywhere you get your podcasts. Thank you all so much for being here for the first episode. Let's get right into it. Oh yeah. Dad, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Ethan, I'm so proud of you, and I really appreciate you wanting to do this project with me. Ever since you did your podcast a couple years ago, and we can talk about that later, I've been excited for you. I think that you have a good future in this. Whether, like I said, whether it's popular, whether we reach 10 people or 10,000, it doesn't really matter. I watch a lot of internet, as I'm sure everybody does, YouTube shorts and TikTok.
Everybody has phones nowadays. Everybody's looking at their screens.
Yeah, it's just something to do to pass the time. It looks like everybody and their mother's doing reaction videos, and I thought, we could do that. And of all the videos I see of just regular people doing reaction videos or whatever, I've never seen a father and son one.
Right.
There may be some, but I haven't seen any.
Right.
And so I thought it a good kind of niche, for us to do. So talking about our time growing up in our little small town of Dangerfield, Texas, a lot of people know Dangerfield Tigers. Ethan and I were lucky enough to go to the same junior high, and then we graduated the same high school, Dangerfield High School.
Not at the same time, of course.
Yeah, during my time, in the 80s, the best football team in the history of the state of Texas. If you were to ask anybody that knows anything about high school football in Texas, Dangerfield would come up as the number 1 or 2. They're certainly
we three-peated in state championships twice. I know for a fact they three-peated in 2009, 2010, 2011. And I was a child then, but I lived there and I didn't even know it.
I know you enjoyed it. I know you enjoyed.
Yeah, I actually, during the football games, I used to run the student section whenever we would have home games and have all the students come out to the games, and we'd do little themes, and I'd always try to get everybody, the student-wise, more enthused about the football games. That way, we could go out there and cheer on our classmates, and hopefully they can go out there and win a state championship. And we got close. We got pretty dang close.
You got to run the Dangerfield Tiger flag up and down the field, right?
Oh yeah, I'll go ahead and show everybody a video of that. I used to run the flag down the sidelines whenever we would score a touchdown. It was pretty special. It's fun. It's fun to be a Dangerfield Tiger during football season.
And I know you were there with your girlfriend a lot at the games.
Oh yeah.
I know that Gabby, your sister, played flute in the band,
and she was a cheerleader.
So
very big thing in Dangerfield.
Man, it is a very big tradition, especially in Dangerfield.
I feel like the college work is a lot more mentally challenging, and it's more straightforward and focused on certain topics, and I think that's really helpful for me because, if it's one big assignment, but they give me a week and a half to work on that one assignment, I think that it's a lot easier for me to sit down and work on it over a period of time, and, I'm getting off track here. Anyway, I did very good in my past semester.
That's fun for me.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if you know this, but that's fun for me to listen to. I hope it's fun for listeners out there who may have kids. Because they will understand that that's really, for someone who has a child that's just recently graduated high school and you're going into college, for a parent to hear that they're enjoying that first year of college, that first semester.
Right.
It means a what? I mean,
Right.
it's fun for me to listen to. So anyway,
me and my girlfriend Alyssa, we both love it up here. I mean, it's fun. Like, not like I didn't love living at the house with my mom and, like, you know, but I mean, I loved staying around family and stuff and being so close to home. But it's nice now being 18 years old. My girlfriend's 19 years old. It's nice to be out here in Tyler, an hour and a half away from home, living on our own, trying to, you know, get groceries, put gas in the car, take the dog to the vet. Like, it's fun to have all these little things that we need to do, you know, try and be successful and start building our lives. And that's what it was. I mean, these are 90 to 100 mile an hour hurricane winds we're talking about that is carrying these fires from neighborhood to neighborhood. And it's not like, you know, it's not like us in East Texas. Like in East Texas, we have about maybe 40 yards in between our neighbors and stuff. You know, we got backyards, you know, we got side yards. We got all this stuff in between our neighbors and stuff, even though they're still our neighbors. But in California, I mean, there's so many more people there. Their houses are like house. Like all in a row, all this shrubbery, all these cars right on top of each other, gas stations, grocery shops. I mean, it's terrible to think about. Like, I mean, all these people that have lived there for all these years have lost their schools, their high schools they went to when they were kids, their family homes. There's so many celebrities. I mean, of course, like, these aren't the people that are going to be mainly affected by it, but at the same time, they are, because, I mean, they were directly affected by it. People like Miles Teller from Top Gun. His entire mansion was burned down. Paris Hilton's childhood home was burned down. And there's many more. Eugene Levy from Schitt's Creek, his mansion burned down in the Palisades. There's so many people that are just affected by these fires. There's so many other things going on with these fires, too. Like, there's this one story that I saw, and I just wanted to mention real quick before I know we have a couple more things we want to talk about on this topic, but one of the things that I wanted to talk about was my girlfriend Alyssa actually mentioned to me that there have been people that are going around dressed as firefighters, and they are actually looting these burnt down homes, or these homes that are in areas that are like they're planning for fires to move into these areas, and people that have evacuated. There's people dressing as firefighters and breaking into these homes or going into these wastelands of burnt down homes and looking for anything they can score. I mean, it's just terrible for people looking to gain benefit off of, other people's terrible misfortune. I wanted to talk about that a little because I haven't heard about that at all until she had mentioned it to me, so I'm sure other people haven't. But yeah, that's something else that's going on up there right now. Is there's a lot of looting going on with, like, people, like I said, dressed up as firefighters or just other random people walking the streets looking for anything.
Oh, I did see that. There have been reports of that, and there have been actually reports of gangs of people. Not necessarily dressed as firefighters, but just, gangs of people
looting.
Looting, and sometimes immediately burned out, or sometimes still on fire.
Right.
Structure. They don't even allow the firefighters or the police a chance to come into that, neighborhood, and they're already there. There's that. I don't know what they're going to get out of it.
Yeah,
maybe some jewelry, but it's tragic. Crime anywhere is tragic, but especially after a tragedy like this, but not much is left of some of these houses anyway. So, it's just they're just burned out shells of houses, house after house for miles.
Yeah.
There's always some kind of shady things going on in tragedies like that. There's always going to be somebody that's going to, try to take advantage of that situation.
You guys find this episode entertaining? It's going to be a little bit different than the past episodes we've done, but yeah, we've got a lot of good stuff to talk about today, and we also want to go over a couple of stuff from last week's episode because we got a couple of updates on topics that we talked about in episode 3.
That's true, and we'll go ahead and talk about that. Of course, we've been talking about, we originally started talking about the weird way that this year started out. We talked about the drones a couple weeks ago, and what a weird situation that is, and hopefully we'll find out more about that.
Trump seems like he wants to get on that pretty soon and figure out what that is.
We'll see. I believe we'll have something on that pretty soon, and it'll be, it just seems to have dropped out of the headlines. Of course,
did,
the fires, the fires out in California is on everybody's mind, and they're still burning. So we talked about that last week, but of course we want to send out our heartfelt prayers to everybody that has lost something or someone out there.
Anyway, still being affected by it, right?
We last week we talked about food safety, and hopefully RFK Jr., who will be head of Health and Human Services, if I'm not mistaken, hopefully will be confirmed soon. And, he was talking about ridding our diet of harmful additives.
Right,
and,
like Red 40s
really.
or like other types of things.
And it's funny because as soon as we recorded the podcast, I saw where they had already taken out red dye number 3.
Yeah, that's right, actually. Yeah, the day after we finished talking about all that stuff that we hoped would happen, they announced that they were going to ban Red 3 in the coming future because, it showed signs of cancer causing, or stuff like that.
Well, and there are way worse ones. Red dye 40 should be next.
Hopefully so. I talked about that in last week's episode,
Yeah, so anyway, we seem to be on the right track there. I'm very optimistic, and I know you are too. That,
absolutely.
Some things will be done in that area.
Well, of course I believe in Bigfoot.
One, you do?
Well, I can remember. You're the one that's kind of bred this into me. I remember back in the day going over Granny Joe's house. We'd come over after school or something. You'd be sitting on the couch. You'd already be watching like Ancient Aliens or either that or some type of Bigfoot hunters type of thing. And man, that made me believe ever since I was. I'm not going to say like there's a man. Or a Sasquatch, I guess, living out in the forest. But yeah, I like to say I believe in Bigfoot. You never know what's out there. I'm sure back in the day, whenever the story started, it was true, But now there's no telling.
Well, the reason I ask is because I don't know if you remember, but you and your sister.
I was gonna mention that. That's one of the main reasons that I believe in Bigfoot. Hey, I swear we saw him that day. Go ahead and tell the story.
Well, talking about it being at Granny Joe's, she lives on a back road, what we call Old Cason Highway. I felt comfortable with you guys after you got old enough to take your bicycles by yourselves up and down the road. Out of sight.
Right.
But I remember you guys when I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 or 9, and you were bicycling, and then you came flying back into the yard. I don't know. You even left your bikes out by the road.
We were moving at the speed of light for like half a mile. We were moving so quick. I don't know what it was. So we were on our bikes. We were like I said, we were like a half a mile from the house, just riding down the road. After this house is all a wooded area behind a fence, and it's all woods and bushes and stuff. I kind of start hearing like brushing and like leaves cracking and twigs breaking to my left. And I look over to my left, and I swear on my entire soul, I don't know what it is, but for some reason, even I want to swear to this day. I went home to like my dad after this, and I was so adamant about the fact that we saw Bigfoot. I swear. For some reason, in my heart, I still believe it now, so that's how I know it's true. I don't know what happened, but I know we heard leaves breaking and twigs cracking. I looked to my left, and I just saw something made a big growling noise, and it took off into the distance. And it was like tall, and it literally was in the trees. It was crazy. And I can't explain it much better than that. It was so long ago, but that's always made me believe in Bigfoot.
Do you remember what you saw, or do you just remember the incident, knowing that you saw it? And did Gabby see it too, or did she just get scared?
For everybody out there listening, we're planning on having my sister and a couple of other guests actually, but specifically we're planning on having my sister on a future episode soon, and we will have to get her take on this as well, so you guys can understand. But welcome to episode 5 of the 2 Generations, 1 Mic podcast, where we like to share stories, lessons, and life. My name is Ethan, and I'm here with my dad, Dwayne, of course. We really appreciate you all for tuning in for the 5th episode of our podcast. We've officially made it 1 month in, and we appreciate all of you guys for subscribing because we've officially hit 500 subscribers. Again, thank you all so much for being here for today's episode. We really hope you guys enjoyed today's topics and enjoy the episode.
The episode 4 was fun because we talked about Bigfoot and ghosts.
Right. Yeah, my girlfriend
weird.
Alyssa actually told me that I asked her if she had listened to the new episode yet, and she said that episode 4 was her favorite so far. So everybody listening right now, make sure to tell us down in the comments which one of the episodes so far has been your favorite, and what's been your favorite thing to hear us talk about.
That was my favorite so far. I thought it was really fun. You know why? Because we were a little looser, and we were just talking.
Yeah, if you guys haven't listened to episode 4, make sure you guys go check it out, because we said at the very beginning of the episode we were going to do it in a little bit different format than usual, but yeah, it was pretty fun. It was just a free little episode that we did.
All right, well let's talk about family. We wanted to talk about family, and I want to mention right off the bat my mom, who's always been my biggest fan. Can we talk about Granny Joe?
Yeah, and just to give everybody a little context, we really just want to do this just because, of course, there's a lot of people out there listening to this right now that already know our backstories or our families and stuff, but we really just want to give the people further out in our reach or people close to us that may not know that much about us, just a little more information about our families and where we come from and how we were raised, stuff like that. So, yeah, Dad, go ahead and tell them about your mom, my Granny Joe.
Okay, well, she's my mom. She's your grandma. She's Granny Joe, but for us kids, you went to Dangerfield Junior High, as I did, and she was the lunch lady there when I was in 7th and 8th grade.
And when was that? When was that, whenever, like, you were in middle school and, like, Granny Joe was the lunch lady?
We moved in 1980 from Fort Smith, Arkansas, down to Dangerfield, Texas. And so I think I came in the middle of my 7th grade year, and Mom got her a job there. She had already been like a nutritionist, and I call her lunch lady. You know, that's what she was. But
right.
And she got a job there at the junior high, and then I saw her every day at lunch, you know, with all of her friends, and I got to know them real well. So,
right.
It's so weird because now I also hang out in the kitchen with a lot of ladies. But yeah, it's crazy. I'll tell you about that later.
Obviously, for everybody out there listening, all know my dad, of course, because we do this show together. But my mom is a school teacher right now, and she's raised me and my sister since, we've lived with my mom since we were like 7 years old. So my mom's taken care of me and my sister for a pretty good long time now. She got us all the way through high school, middle school, is helping our way through college. My mom's always been a big support system for me and Gabby, and she's our number one supporter, and we love our mom so much for that, of course. She's actually in Wisconsin right now taking care of her mom. Just, she wanted to go up there and visit her and see her while she has a little break from work. But yeah, my mom's a warrior, a trooper. She's the best mom ever. She's taught me so many good lessons, as you have. You guys have both taught me and Gabby really good and set us up really well for the future, in my adult life and work and, just knowing what's right and what's wrong and how to be polite to people. You guys have really set me and Gabby up well, and I hope she realizes that too. I took her out that night, and we're going to go out here.
Tell me a little bit about that. You told me earlier we were talking on the phone and showed me a picture.
Yeah, we went out to eat it.
You guys didn't get to have Christmas?
No, so me and Alyssa had a job for Christmas. She was working at Forever Pets, where we found our dog, Sylvia, and I didn't have a job at the time, so I had no money to buy Christmas presents. So me and Alyssa just agreed that we were going to do what we call Valin Christmas time, or Valin Christman time, whatever we call it, so it's kind of like a combination, and we're just going to get each other Christmas presents for Valentine's Day because, we couldn't afford to get each other Christmas presents at the time. So right now we still have the tree set up in February in the living room right now. We have presents all under the tree, and we're going to open them next Saturday because I'm probably going to work on that Friday of Valentine's Day. But yeah, I went and got her presents the other day.
Cool idea.
Yeah, it's fun, just something else to do in February other than just Valentine's. So we're gonna put them together. We're still gonna have our little Valentine's. So I'm gonna take her out on Valentine's Day. We're talking about maybe going to the zoo the day after or something. So we'll have a fun time for Valentine's. But yeah, I took her out the other day. Whenever I went and got her Christmas presents.
You should shoot a picture up.
Yeah, no, I'll show you guys videos of the date and stuff. I just called her whenever I was getting her Christmas presents, and I was like, "Hey, you want to go out tonight?" And she was like, "Yeah, where are we going?" And I was like, "I'll tell you whenever we get there." And I took her to Shoguns, and we spent a little money on dinner, but it's worth it whenever I'm taking my girl out, so it's always fun. About 11 o'clock at night on Sunday, and I saw some news that my favorite player on the Dallas Mavericks, the Luka Doncic, had been traded to the Los Angeles Lakers, and it makes me die just having to say that into this microphone right now. And, yeah, it's just really, really tough time for Dallas Mavericks fans right now. Luka was traded for Anthony Davis off of the Los Angeles Lakers for a 2029 first-round pick and a rookie named Max Christie, who he played his first game last night, and he scored about 15 points, so he looks like he's going to be pretty good. But, man, it's just a big hit to the Mavericks. I mean, Luka has been our franchise player since we drafted him in 2018. Whenever we drafted him in 2018, he won Rookie of the Year. He's played in the league for the past 6 years, and he's won 5 All-Stars, 5 All-NBA awards. I mean, and the only reason he doesn't have a 6th is because this is his 6th season. And everybody that's a fan of the Dallas Mavericks right now, I think that not only did they just trade away Luka Doncic, but I think they just traded away half their fan base because I mean, and that's serious. I mean, Luka he's the whole reason I was a fan of the team. And, I mean, they have some great players on that team, and I think they're still going to go far. But, I mean, honestly, I think I'm a Lakers fan now because I've been telling everybody they could have offered us LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and a first-round pick, and I don't think I ever would have given up Luka Doncic because he's 25 years old in the middle of his prime, and we traded him for a center that is 31 years old, and he has a glass ankle.
Wow.
He was supposed to play his first game yesterday, and he's already hurt, and he's out for a week because of an abdominal strain.
Wow, you know a lot more about it these days than I do.
I'm so enthused by sports. I know everything about it, and especially this whole Luka thing because it's just heartbreaking. I mean, he wanted to be in Dallas for the rest of his career. There should have been a statue in front of American Airlines Stadium, just like Dirk Nowitzki.
Right.
And I mean,
well,
he wanted to win us
champions. Because let me tell you, Ethan, you should probably look into their real legacy as well, because back in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, I know all about Dirk and Jason Kidd.
I'm sorry?
I said I know all about Dirk Nowitzki and Jason Kidd.
Even before that, man, they really put up some really good runs, against the Lakers and the Detroit Pistons,
right,
and the Boston Celtics and whatever. Back in the day when they had Donaldson, and they acquired some really good people.
Too bad the Celtics were dominating. Too bad.
Hey, welcome back to episode 7 of the Two Generations One Mic podcast. We're so excited to have my daughter, Ethan's sister, Gabrielle Marie, on the show this week. We call her Gabby. And we just hope everyone listening had a great week and a good day today. Happy Valentine's week.
Should be listening to this on Valentine's Day now that I think about it.
Yeah.
So, happy Valentine's Day.
Opened your Christmas times presents?
We actually did. So we weren't supposed to. We were supposed to open them on Saturday, but we kind of broke. I've been begging Alyssa to for like the past month, and she's held strong. But the other night I got home from work, and she just randomly asked me. She was like, "Do you want to open Christmas presents?" And I was like, "Yep." Immediately I broke. We did. We opened all our Christmas presents. I'll have to send everybody pictures, but I got her a little necklace from Pandora and stuff, and she got me a bunch of hoodies and new clothes and T-shirts, stuff to keep me warm, and we got each other a bunch of good stuff. So it was a lot of fun. We're gonna go to the zoo this Saturday whenever we're both off of work because she started her job just yesterday. She's having a great time. She loves it. She's got to get through like 36 hours of training videos first. But yeah, we just want to tell you guys thank you so much for that. So, Gabby, if you want to go ahead and come on and introduce yourself, let us know a couple things about yourself. We're so excited to have Gabby on the episode. So, Gabby, go ahead and just introduce yourself to everybody out there.
Hey guys, I'm Gabby. I'm Ethan's sister. I'm also a college student at NTCC. I do cosmetology. Well, I'm working on my cosmetology, and I'm working on my associates at the moment, only because I didn't get into the cosmetology program soon enough.
That's the same college that your mom and I went to, right? Right down the road where you grew up?
Yes.
And then you have a job over there nearby in Mount Pleasant?
Yeah, I work at IHOP.
How's that going? Yeah, same question.
It's going pretty good. I had like $500 in a week, which is crazy.
Yeah, I know that's more money than we've ever made in Dangerfield, that's for sure.
On episode 4, we talked about ghosts and Bigfoot, and Ethan and I were talking about the time that you guys said that you saw Bigfoot down the road when you were on your bike. Do you remember that?
I swear on my life.
I'm telling you.
We saw him, I swear. My input on that is me and Ethan were riding our bikes, and we got like a good ways down the street, and there was like a whole bunch of trees, and we looked over because we heard something in the trees, so we're thinking, oh, it's just like the wind or something. So we were just in there for a second, and then the trees started shaking, and I was like, okay, that's scary.
Yeah, something just like took off.
And I saw an eye, and then we dropped our bikes and ditched. I swear we ran and didn't stop.
Yeah, we got all the way back home for like half a mile. It was crazy. I'm telling you, man, I don't know.
We were just wondering if you remembered it the same way, and that's exactly how Ethan described it. But
yeah.
I remember you guys running into the yard, and you used to play pranks on me all the time. Not necessarily about Bigfoot, but you used to play, you would, try to prank me out. And I just thought you guys were pulling my leg. But on the other hand, I thought maybe.
Yeah.
One of my favorite memories with Gabby was doing our daddy-daughter dances.
Oh, yeah, your guys' little dad-daughter dances at the school and stuff whenever you guys were little?
Yeah, well, she was a dancer. She was in dance class, starting very young.
Oh, yeah,
But whenever February rolled around, they had daddy-daughter dances every February around Valentine's Day. And that's some of my favorite memories were dressing up. They had different themes every year. One time it was a masquerade ball. One time it was in New York. And all through her younger years, we had that. And, I think the last time that we really danced was at her 16th birthday party.
Right, yeah,
And
I remember that.
I just look forward to maybe one day dancing again with her at her wedding. But anyway, without getting specific, are you worried? How's your mental health when you look at the big picture of everything that we have to be concerned about these days?
I just try not to focus on it too much. I try not to put my perceptions and energy in that negative mind state, because what's the point in dwelling in the future in a negative way? In the future, I want to be successful and do this and do that and make all this money, but how am I going to be able to hold myself to the standard and do all these things I want to do if I just think that the world is going to crumble and everything's going to be crap for the rest of my life? You know what I mean?
That's true. You can't focus.
I don't want to just become a hermit and crawl up under my bed and play video games for the rest of my life. I want to get out there and do things, and I can't just sit around and watch the world crumble and not do anything about it. But, seeing the state of homelessness and seeing inflation, and I've spent $200 on groceries in the past week alone, and there's still some things that I need to get, just being a college student right now, experiencing what it's like to, be broke, and I don't have a car right now, and it's extremely hard for me, trying to make a savings fund to build some wealth so I can get a car. But it's just completely crazy to me as an 18-year-old. How is it even possible for me to be able to save a amount like $20,000 to get a car, or $5,000 so I can get a down payment? You know what I mean?
Hey, you know what? And it doesn't get any easier. So that's why you got to really be smart now. But
Right.
we adults my age, in your 50s, 40s, we face the same thing. How are we going to make it each week? You really have to be smart and budget. But and I didn't want, I just wondered how your mental state was, and that's great, man. I'm really glad that you have that kind of.
I'm excited for the future because, for myself personally, I'm excited to hopefully marry my girlfriend in the future, and us have children further off in the future. And, me and my girlfriend are planning on going on vacation this summer, and I'm excited to do that every summer for the rest of our lives. And, I'm ready to start my career, buy my first house, buy my car. I'm ready to, and no matter what's going on in the world, I don't care who's president, I don't care who's at war, I don't care what the argument is of the day online. I just like to worry about myself and, keep focused on my future and not the world's. So I think the rest of the episode is going to be a really funny, fun episode.
Well, listen, can I start?
Absolutely, go ahead.
Okay, and this is something I don't think we talked about when we were preparing for the episode.
No, I don't think we laid out the plan for the episode at all today, so it's going to be a little bit of a surprise whenever we hit you with the topics.
Not too much, but hey, I wanna ask you and get your take on some slang words.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, listen, because I don't hear you saying a lot of slang. I I've heard Gabby, your sister, say, we're gonna throw hands or whatever,
Who'd Gabby say she was gonna throw hands with?
Yeah, she's.
Oh well, no, I know what you mean. Gabby uses it in a funny way, like if you step on her toe or something, she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna throw hands with you" or something.
Yeah, stuff like that. But
I was like, "Boy, who's Gabby fighting?" Go ahead, though.
Well, you know what I mean. She uses slang a little more than you do.
Right, yeah.
I've never heard you say "Oh man, that's sus" or "That's cap" or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
I've heard these things, so let me tell you a few that was popular when I was growing up, and you tell me if you even know what they mean.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I'll guess what they mean, and then I'm going to ask you some words that are popular right now, on TikTok, and some things that are popular in my generation, and you tell me what you think they mean.
I'll tell you what I think. Okay. So back in the 70s and 80s when I was growing up, boogie was a big word. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, of course. Just to dance, get down on the dance floor, you know what I mean?
That's right. But you know what I also heard? There used to be a term, and I don't know if this is true or not, but it used to be a term for, and I'm not kidding, STD.
Ugh.
Yeah, so if
What
you
the
got
heck?
that boogie, you
If
don't
you
want
got a
to get
boogie, you got a STD?
and so,
Oh,
I don't
no.
know. But it morphed into, whether that's true or not, I don't know,
Oh,
but it
God.
morphed into like getting down and boogie. You know,
Right.
we would just laugh, man, about the stupidest stuff, and that's what it was. Just dumb, really stupid stuff. And I got that sense of humor from my older brother, Darren, because Darren is hilarious. I don't know if you ever looked at Darren's Facebook page.
Yeah, absolutely. He's always posting some funny stuff.
And the memes and stuff that he
Yeah.
puts up there, because he's, he's way more funny than the stupid puns and dad jokes that he puts on it. But he puts those on there because he knows how stupidly funny it is, and it's just to give somebody else a laugh. And I still,
Right. I have some great moments with Uncle Doug too. Like, I remember, I think it was 2 years ago, whenever I was in high school, there was something going on, and it was like a astronomy thing. Like, I think you could see Jupiter, and it was going to be the biggest, like, you could see it in space for like another 50 years or something like that. And you could literally see Jupiter with the blind eye if you had like binoculars or something. And I remember I called you asking if, Granny Joe had any binoculars at her house. And then I called Granny Joe. I was calling around everywhere, and I asked Uncle Doug if he had some, and he offered to look around for me. And after he found some, he took me up to the top of the ore mines, which you've mentioned in previous episodes, which the ore mines are basically just kind of a really tall half mountain in Dangerfield that we went to the top of to look at Jupiter, just me and him. And we were having a really good time up there. He was cracking jokes. We were just hanging out, having a good time. And Uncle Doug's always been. We're running out of pet pictures, so you guys please make sure to send your pet pictures down to the email on your screen right now, or check the description down below. I think you can click on the email in the description and actually send us an email, like, directly from that. So go ahead and email us a picture of your pets. If you got a dog, cat, snake, bird, iguana, hamster, I don't know, man. If any of you guys like rocks, that's whatever you're into, man. I don't judge. You guys can send it to us in our email, or you guys can send it to us on Facebook, TikTok. You guys can comment your Instagram, and I'll add you, and you can send it to me that way. Whatever you want to do. We want all the pet pictures so we can include you guys at the end of the episode, so we can hopefully get you guys to stick around and see if your pet is at the end of the episode. So we hope you guys have all enjoyed the pet pictures so far. I've had a lot of fun making those and, editing it and stuff. So.
Hey, tell us about what's been going on, because we're super excited, before we go into anything else, about all of the subs that we've had the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we did want to mention again at the end of this episode just the amount of growth that we're having. And I mean, we're so proud of the achievements that we've made so far. Like, just since January 1st, we've accumulated 57 subscribers, which is just so crazy. In the matter of 8.5 weeks, we've, amassed 57 more people to enjoy our content, and every single one of our YouTube videos now in the past 3 weeks have hit at least like 105 views before the next episode went up. So we're growing at an insane rate, and we just appreciate all you guys so much for watching our content. And make sure you guys like the videos, and we appreciate you guys for doing that already. We've officially hit 1,000 views just in the past 28 days on our channel. So we have 61 hours of watch time, and that's just in the last 28 days. That doesn't include the whole time or whatever. So we only hit 500 subscribers, I think, 2.5 weeks ago, and, we're already almost to 530, so we can't believe, the amount of reception we're getting, and thank you guys all for searching us up, watching the videos, liking our stuff.
What was the most popular one, do you know,
so far? Yeah, episode 1 has the most views and most likes so far, because, obviously the first episode, that got the most traction from new viewers and stuff, but I think, other than that, I think Gabby's episode, and the episode where we talked about the Grammys and the Luka Doncic trade, those episodes are neck and neck right now. They're fighting for the number 2 spot. So you guys have to go check out those episodes and let us know which one is your favorite, because those 2 episodes are at like 140 views each. Thank you guys all so much for watching today's episode. As I said before, this is just a little bit of a compilation of the best moments from our past 9 episodes, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. We'll be back next Friday with episode 10 of the podcast, so like I said before, make sure you guys don't forget to like and subscribe, and we're really excited for the future of the podcast. We're going to have new mics coming soon and a whole bunch of fresh ideas for the next 10 episodes of the podcast, so thank you guys for all sticking with us, and hope you guys enjoy what's coming in the future.